So this is a real quick demo that I haven't in any way planned out. But there were some interesting discussions developing on Twitter about the connection between Little Outliner and Rome. And so I saw a demo there of something that has an equivalent in Little Outliner. And so I thought that might be a good place to start demoing. And so this is what I call a status outline, and it's where I do my notes about various different development projects I'm working on, or things that are very long-term things, like my blog that's 26 years old, if you can believe that. And you can see there's one sub-outline for every day, and then a bunch of items. And you see the double square brackets here? I actually like the way Rome was doing that, and I have a separate app that's cross-indexing them, and I don't like it yet. So I'm like, whatever, not ready to show that to the world or give that to anybody. But it is an interesting idea about how my world could connect to the Rome world. The thing is that this is my idea of an outliner, and your idea of an outliner they're quite different. I'm making something that's very easy to edit and like a notepad. It can be organized other ways, but time is actually one of the big ones. So it's so big that this icon here, and these are all different icons for different things. The very first one is for the calendar feature. So watch what happens now when I click that. Okay, so it creates a new node for March 19th because I haven't made any notes about March 19th yet. And then a new headline underneath that. And it goes into edit mode, so it's sitting there waiting for me to type something. And so demo for Rome folk. I don't know if you guys have that. You have Rome culture, I think Rome cult and Rome dev. I'm not up on all of them, but I think it's cool. Anyway, and so then I press return and click tab key, and then now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country. You have to type something, right? And that's kind of it. I mean, I can do it again, then it opens up another one up here, and I could type another note or not. I'm not going to do it. But then the question came up of, why aren't there columns? And I actually have created systems. We're at the point now where you can put columns in here, but I haven't done any of it, haven't really used it much. But the thing is, we have attributes on the headlines. And you can see there's a little readout here of the different attributes that are on this one. So it has an attribute called created, and then a type attribute. Length is not an attribute. Length is just something that's nice to have. And then, so if I go to this one, it has a created attribute, but no type because it's just whatever. It's not a type. This one has a type, and you can tell because it has the little icon in front of it that indicates its type is an outline. You can see this one here has a type, and it's dark. And what that means is that if I double click on it, I'll find some stuff underneath it. But the important thing is that this isn't doing a database lookup. This is an in-memory data structure. However, it could be kept in sync with the Rome database, and I think that would be nice. Now, people have said, oh, well, you can import through another app or whatever. No, that's not even remotely like what I have in mind. What I have in mind is that here, you see this thing up here? Okay, now I just move the cursor, and it says not saved. That is how incredible. I mean, this is the way software works these days. Is like, what the fuck? I don't need a save command. Basically, I'm just going to always be saving it. And so when I do this, well, I could very easily notify another app, like say the Rome database, and say, hey, I just updated this thing. Why don't you like redigest it? Or let's do a smart redigest. Or it doesn't have to be hooked up directly to Rome. It could be hooked up to a server app that in turn sends a bunch of updates to the Rome database. I mean, it's a different philosophy. It's not, I mean, it's kind of like what we did with blogging in, I think it was like 2000 or 1999, 2000, 2001, somewhere in there. We came up with a thing called the Metablog API that allowed you to use whatever editor you wanted to edit your blog posts. And it became pretty popular because in general, the editors that we provided in the blogging tools were kind of, lowest common denominator, what's built into the browser basically. And people wanted better editors. So we figured, why not, provide an API for that? And we did. And it's still in use. I mean, I'm not sure if WordPress, I'd have to check. I'm not sure if they still support it. They certainly did at one point. So there's lots of prior art there. And that's the kind of thing I'd love to see happen. That it's sort of like, okay, there's editors here, and then there's databases here. And I'd like to have a lot of different ones to choose from. Now, I'm not going to switch editors. This is the editor that I use to write my blog. And I have so much built. Oh, wait, I should show you, by the way. This is those are the attributes. Didn't show you. I showed you down there, and you can add another attribute anytime you want. So, I don't know, comment or description. That's something you see a lot of. Or you could link an image in here. That's another thing we do a lot of. Now watch what happens, you see? See, now it has a description down there. Let's go. I'll edit the description, add a bunch of characters to it, and you can see it automatically. There's a lot of this. I mean, basically the idea of users having to remember to save, that's a good way to lose your data, and we don't like that. We like to have things. By the way, this is like good daring for me to do this, but see that green lightning bolt? This is a shared outline. This one is. It's a public outline, and whenever I update it, if somebody subscribed to it, as I am here, this is just for testing purposes, it serves no purpose whatsoever. But if I'm, so then, there, oh, no, I'm sorry. Testing this in another app. Sorry, it's not from here. It's from another place. It's another outline called Dave Status in a completely different app. Anyway, I've been going on too long. This is going to be a huge freaking file. But if you enjoyed it, ask questions. I'll post a link to this on Twitter and on my blog. But primarily, I think for now, the best place to discuss this is on Twitter. So why don't we do that? Okay? So talk to you later. Bye-bye.